Hello everyone, welcome back to another one of my videos. So in this video, I'm actually going to be reflecting on 2025 because it's the end of the year and it's literally like the new year tomorrow, so it's kind of insane. Firstly, I just want to say that if you can literally see every detail of my face, it's because I'm using my back camera instead of my front camera, so it's like... So I'm obviously going to be talking about some like personal things and like just things about my life, which is like, you know, obviously for a bit of context, you guys, before I really start like talking about 2025, I really want to just talk about the years before. I really never talked about this directly. Not gonna lie, 2024 was definitely one of the worst years of my life. Every day was just, you know, oh my god, I can already feel like Niagara Falls just coming out of my eyes. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, still obviously like a little emotional because it wasn't really that long ago and I just went through a lot of things in my life that really were complicated. It was really hard. It was really hard to even just go on with my day. When I was in grade 12, that was genuinely one of like the worst school years of my life. I was going through so much at the time and nobody even really knew what I was going through. Every day was just the same day. Every day was sad. I was sad every day. I never was happy. I feel like I would have to save this for like another video or something, but you know, long story short, I was just not doing well in 2024. I was not happy. I was not doing good at all. Like, genuinely speaking, I was not doing good. Summer after high school, everyone's like, oh my god, like this summer after high school, it's like the best ever, like, you know, and it was not like that for me. It was genuinely one of the worst summers of my life. If someone ever like asked me, if someone was like, would you rather summer 2023 or summer 2024, I would rather pick or. None of them were good, broski. I got trauma from both summers. Like, not even gonna lie to you, I think the last summer I had actually like a good summer was like summer 2018. Yo, that was actually like good. Well, I remember, you know, when university was gonna start, right? Because I was gonna go into university, you know, post-secondary, and I was actually really excited. You know, I was like, this is gonna be a fresh start, something new. I still remember like the first day of university. I was terrified. I literally went to the bathroom and just pretty much stayed there until my class was gonna start because there were so many people and I was like, what the actual heck? I just also want to say that like none of my main friends actually go to my university, so this was the first time in a really long time where I was in a school setting with none of my main friends. And I remember in my elementary school, pretty much if you had like no friends, you were pretty much gonna get bullied. People would literally like pick on you and everything if you had no one to hang out with. So if you didn't have a clique or at least someone, just game over. First semester of my first year of university was genuinely the worst, broski. I had so much hope that life was going to be good again, that I will feel happy, and then it just got like worse. I actually mentioned this in one of my previous videos that I was saying that I kind of had this really weird paranoia in first year of university. Like, I don't even know how to explain it to you because I've never had this type of like feeling. Someone was like breathing on my neck, someone was watching me. I couldn't do anything in peace. Like right after my class, I would legit just go home. I was sad because I thought this was gonna be something different. Remember when it was a new year, right? 2025. I was like, I really need to change my life. I was like, I actually can't live like this anymore. I really can't. I'm tired every day. I'm sad every day. I can't live like this. I needed to change. I needed to do something. I needed to help myself. I needed to just get back on track. Literally the end of grade 11, that's when my life really turned around. It was crazy and it was things that I really was scared of. You know, I really was. Save that for another video or something, you know, it's kind of traumatic. Trying to cope. This was obviously second semester of first year. My schedule was kind of funky, not gonna lie. I had some gaps in the middle of my classes, so I kind of would just, I remember like actually for one of my class, like one of the days, I had like a 4-hour gap in my schedule because the prof would like end the lecture early. It was a 3-hour lecture and she would like low-key end it early, and then there was like a break, and then I'd have like another 3-hour lecture after that. I would like go to the library at school and I would just kind of sit there. I would just take time for myself, you know. I would write, I would listen to music, and I remember feeling so weird. Like, it just was really weird to kind of focus on myself. It really was kind of like, it kind of was like deja vu to grade 11 because I did that in grade 11 too. Again, I need to say that for like another video or something, but bring that love back to myself. So that was the very first step I did into trying to change or trying to kind of move differently. The first 4 months of 2025 were very, very, very difficult. You know, it was not really like a straight line of just, okay, healing, happiness, and everything. It was like a roller coaster. I had days where I was like, oh my gosh, I think I'm finally getting there. I think this is what healing is. I think I'm gonna actually be finally happy for once. And then there was days where I just cried and I was sad and I felt like I was doing worse. I don't want to go back into those old habits. I don't want to live that life. I genuinely don't, because I hate it. Right? There were days like that, you know. I remember, like, and especially balancing with school, balance my personal life with school, and like that's always just like, you know, it's always been like that since high school, right? So difficult, and nobody talks about it. No teacher, no professor, they never understand, or they never talk about how it's so hard to manage your role as like a daughter in your house and a role as a student in school. February, whatever, like, it went by somehow. I don't even know, like midterms and everything, I don't know. When it was March of 2025, you know, I remember obviously like the days were kind of getting longer, which because of daylight savings, which was really nice. I remember my grandma actually came to visit. It was really random. I remember she was like, the ticket was cheap, so I was like, why not just come over? And I was like, oh, okay, like, you know, I'm good with that. It was actually really interesting because I think it was one of the first nights she was here. Right, it was me, my mom, and my grandma, and we were just like all, it was like at night, we were just all kind of like hanging out. And I actually remember this really well. I was like on the, near like the stairs in my house. She looked at me and she was like, you changed. There's just something about you, you know, last time, she was like, last time I saw you, like, you're different. I remember I looked at her and I kind of laughed and I was like, what? Like, you know, I kind of didn't even know how to respond to that because I've never gotten that before. I've never had anyone tell me that I've changed. It felt actually kind of good, you know. It felt really good to hear that. Honestly, if anyone actually ever were to say I changed, I would take that as a compliment. I don't know, I think that's like a really powerful thing to say. Then later on, I really thought about it, you know, in the night, and I cried. I remember I cried and I was like, wow, like, I feel like I needed that. I don't really know how I got through March. Like, I don't know, dude. I was just going through it. Every day I would take time for myself, every single day. April came by, we had final exams. I had like back-to-back exams. This was like one of the last exams. By the way, it was accounting. I literally had like one day to study for that exam. Oh my god. So obviously it was like the day that I was studying, right? And I remember my dad came into my room. I low-key was already like crashing out, right? My dad came into my room and he was saying that he was like gonna go out, and then he was like, oh, like, how are you doing, right? And broski, I literally just like bawled out. Like, I remember I just literally had like a mental breakdown. I literally was just like bawling and I was like, I don't know anything, like, you know, and the exam was like soon and like whatever, like, I don't know. I was just like crashing out. Talked to my dad about it, and then after when he came home, he got me a large ice cap, which was rewarding. Yeah, anyway, I did that exam. Actually wasn't like that terrible, was not that bad for real. But when exams were over and I came home, I got an ice cap, I felt this weight like lifted off of my shoulders, because school is such a heavy thing. And I'm not even talking about like school, I'm also talking about university. Like, it's, you know, college, university, like post-secondary is no joke. And for me, if you guys don't know, I am such an academic student. Like, I take school seriously. Like, you don't know. I mean, like, if you don't succeed in school, you're done. Like, that's just how seriously I take school. Like, I didn't even know what to kind of do. I was like, okay, now school's over, so now I don't have to worry about school. Now I just have to worry about myself. And this was even more like daunting, because now pretty much all the focus is on myself. It's not on school and myself, it's on myself, on my personal life, on me. Me and my mom, we both were tired of like everything. We kind of just planned like a really random trip to Vancouver. So if you're like, why do you go to Vancouver every single year and you never go anywhere else ever? It's because I have family that lives in Vancouver, so we usually go there a lot. That's why. It was for a few days. That is because I was like, let me do a class in the spring/summer semester, which I was like packing and everything. I made a video on that, and you could just tell like my energy and everything was so low because I just was not doing good. I was definitely one of the lower days. I remember every single time when I go to Vancouver, all of my problems that I have, I forget about them. They go away because number one, there's more problems over there. And number two, it's just a different atmosphere. You know, I feel like you really need that in your life. Like you really need to be in a different atmosphere. Even if it's like for a few days, I feel like so much can change. And for me, it's like whenever I'm there, I feel like I'm like a different person. Like for example, I usually take night showers because I'm a night shower person. But there, I would go and take morning showers. I don't know, like it just, you know, I remember like sitting outside all day, doing random side quests, going to the beach. I love sitting at the dining table at my grandparents' house because it's just like, you know, I love also sitting and like always the dining table was just full, like a full dining table. I love that like so much. I wish it was longer. I really do. I feel like it would have been better, but it was good. So when I came back home, you know, I was like, oh my God. I was just like, what? Like, you know, when I came home, I was like, I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do. Like, what do I do now? Like, school was gonna start in like a few days for my class that I was terrified of because this was one of the most failed classes in my program. And I don't know, it just sounded scary, right? It was like math, it was like a math class. This was like May, just saying. This was like May. This was like a 12-week semester. I know, right? Just gun to my head for real, right? Which, if you don't know, 12 weeks is like, it's like the regular semester. It's like 4 months. First day of the class. It was kind of scary because the professor was like, did you all read the syllabus? And I was like, oh my God, I did not read the syllabus. Like, I didn't even look at that. And then she was just like asking people to like read stuff and like, how many days is this? And like picking on people. And like, then there was people that came late to the class and she literally just like paged them. She was like, why are you late? Actually, like, yo, those were like scary 3 hours, dude. I feel like I just held my breath the whole entire time. You know, it was getting much hotter outside, and I love the time of year where it's like April, May, June, because in school, when like I was in like high school and stuff and like elementary, that was genuinely, broski, that was the peak like time of the year. I don't even care. That was like the prime, okay? Those 3 months, because it's hot, school's about to end, like, you know, it's just, I don't know, there's something in the air. So I obviously remember, you know, like, especially when I had like final exams in April, it was so weird because I was like, dude, we're supposed to be like hanging out, having fun, not doing exams, not studying. So that was May. And then in June, I remember Hapisha like hit me up and she was like, yo, let's go to the gym. And I was like, what? The gym? Okay. Yo, because it's actually really funny because me and Hapisha, we've always wanted to go to the gym every year, dude. Every year. I remember this like since like grade 10. Okay, since grade 10, I was like, yo, we should go to the gym in like summer, right? Grade 10, summer of grade 10. That didn't happen. And then I was like, summer of grade 11. I was like, yo, we should go to the gym. Summer of grade 11, let's do it. Didn't happen. Grade 12. Didn't happen. Right? And I'm just like, it never happened and we never went to the gym. And after my class, I would just like go to her house. We just go to the gym. It's like this one memory I have that always kills me because it's just so funny. I was done my class and I went to her house and like we didn't eat lunch. So we were like, okay, let's just like get McDonald's. And we literally got McDonald's and then we went right to the gym after. That always makes me laugh because I'm like, yo, that is something that we would do, you know, like we just eat McDonald's and I'm like, okay, just go to the gym. We spent like almost like 2 hours at the gym. It was really nice. I actually like going to the gym. Another one of my favorite like memories is that after my class, because usually like my class, the lecture would end around like in the evening. Like the timings for summer classes are really different compared to like the regular fall and like winter semester. The sun was like, it was almost like golden hour and you're just like sitting on like the back of the bus, because I would take like public transit bus, you know, but you know, sitting in the back of the bus, listening to your music, a good song comes on, like your favorite song comes on, and like the wind is just blowing through the window and it's just like, oh my God, the sun is just in your face. It's like actually like one of the best feelings ever, you know what I mean? That was like, you know, June. I think something that I haven't really ever directly mentioned also is that I have such a thing for the past. For years, you guys, for years, I was always just really attached to the past and I couldn't ever not think about it. There were certain kind of incidents that happened in the past, certain people that were in my past that I just really couldn't let go of for years. It's not just like, you know, for a little bit, it was for years. I really couldn't. I remember kind of struggling with that. You know, there were times where I would just be walking on campus or just doing anything and I would get like a memory, like a flashback, and it's not even triggered by anything. It would just come up in my brain, like in my memory. It would be so painful. Like, I don't even know how to describe that, but especially when it's something kind of like traumatic and it just comes up when you're in public, right? And it physically and mentally hurts you. It's like, what do you even do? Like, just pretend nothing's going on. Obviously, I searched that up and I was like, what even is that? Like, what does it mean when like you have a memory of something and it physically hurts you and it feels painful? And I searched it up, and I mean, Google pretty much said that's like a symptom of PTSD. I don't know. If you've never like actually had that before, it hurts. Like, oh my god, that is so painful. All the trauma that I got from 2023 and 2024, like, you know, it's just it's hard. It was hard. It was very hard. It's not even like the right word. It was just so difficult. I feel like I really started to kind of compete, like have peace with my past, and I was like accepting that, you know what, those things that happened in the past, they're not in my present, and you know what, that's okay, because I'm grateful that they happened in the past. I'm happy that, and I'm grateful that I met those people from my past. I'm grateful for those experiences, especially one experience in particular was grade 7. You know, I always talk about grade 7 because it genuinely was one of the best years of my life. It was one of the best years I had in a long time. You know, it really was. And that's why I really love it so much, because it was really unique and it was really different. And there was a lot of new things, new people that I met, past relationships that I rekindled with. And it was great. You know, it was great. And when that ended, I need to do like a whole another video on this as well. But when that ended, I will never forget that. The day when it was the last day of school in grade 7, and when that final bell rang, and I remember feeling all of that, the spark in me, a lighter or like a match, and it just left. It just disappeared. It was gone. And I remember like sitting on the school bus, just like, what is this? Like, what is this feeling? Like, why do I feel like that? I feel so like empty. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like myself. That was something that I struggled with for a really long time. When I was in grade 8, life even got worse. Just got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Now, I feel like I can kind of finally look back at that and be grateful that it happened, not sad because it's not my present. I can be happy that it happened. You see what I mean? I can finally talk about it with happiness. You know, in the past, not even like what, like this is the first year that I am able to talk about it and with happiness. Before that, every time I would talk about grade 7, it'd be coming from like a sad place, not from like happy and grateful and yay. It was just like, man, I really miss this and I just want this back, and like I'm sad and like I need to tell everyone that I'm sad. But I finally came to terms with that. And I remember one of the curves was one day I was actually gonna go to like the temple. I was really happy because I haven't gone in such a long time, and like finally we're going, like this feels really good. That same day I found out that my dad pretty much threw out a lot of things, personal things of mine. I had like a lot of toys. Like I had a drawer that had like so many toys and like dolls and like things and like miniatures and like things that like my friends gave me, and like I just have so much stuff in there. And then my dad just threw it out, and I found out that day, and oh my god, wow, it really hurt me. I felt so like unbalanced. Like I was like, what the actual heck? Because like why did this have to happen? You know what I mean? I was like, why? Like, right. And I remember right when we were about to leave, I remember I like slammed the garage door. I was so angry, actually. I was so mad, and I really had to like pull myself together. I literally remember I was like just standing in my house. It's really hard because, well, you know, when personal things of yours just kind of get thrown out, like how are you even supposed to react to that? Like, I don't even know, right? I think I see that as like growth, because when I look at it from my past self, 2024 me saw this, or even before, I literally would have caused such a tantrum. Like I would have like destroyed everything in my house. I would have like literally just like ruined everything. Like I would have been like screaming. I would have just like literally just a mess, right? But I was there, I pulled myself together, I got in the car. So honestly, when I was like at the temple, I was like sitting there, but I was like talking to God in my own head, and I was like, why did this happen? Like, why? Like, I don't Like, what did I do wrong? I have to see this in my reality. Like, what did I do to cause it? Or like, just what? Like, I'm just so confused. I think I maybe got an answer. It was for the growth. For growing, I love those things. You need to experience growth. That's kind of what I got from that. Because I haven't seen some of those items in those drawers for like a good year, honestly. Even though those things obviously like were things that I loved and I will always love them, you need to move on. You know, the semester was over. I did pretty good in that class, honestly. I did really good. I actually had a really good relationship with the professor. She was really nice. She was honestly one of the best professors I've ever had. This is like August, right? I'm done with the class. Great. Okay, school is literally gonna start in a month. Great, not even a month, bro. So he was like less than 4 weeks. And I was like, okay. Something that I did that summer was one thing why I really liked the spring/summer semester, by the way, is because there's no one there. Like, literally, you guys, not even lying to you, nobody. Okay, my phone literally died and it's like a few days later. During the summer/like spring semester, what I really liked was, you know how I was talking about how I had that like really scary kind of like paranoia, or I felt like someone was like breathing behind my neck or whatever, right? I literally went everywhere around campus. I'm not even lying to you. Like, bro, see, I was just like discovering things, like, honestly, and I don't really know how to explain it, but what kind of happened was the more I did that and like I just went everywhere and whatever, I really would say that fear went away, which was something that I never thought it would go away. As I said, I never have felt that kind of fear before. I didn't really even know what it was. It went away. So I think that's something that I'm really glad. See, like, September was like right around the corner. I was kind of like worried about second year because, you know, second year, I mean, come on, like first year was already a wreck. I'm just like, okay, let's just hope second year goes well, even though I'm kind of scared. I think I did good in second year, like, or the first semester of second year. I would say I think I did like definitely better than like first year. Like, I feel like first year I'm not saying I was like working hard enough. Like, I was working hard, but like I just, you know, that's just how I am. I'm sorry, okay? Like, yes, I did work hard, but I feel like also like I could have worked harder. But like with this semester, I also feel like I could have just worked like a little bit harder. Like, I really was trying to kind of balance everything out. I literally got sick during midterms. That was like the worst thing ever. Also, like, low-key got sick during final exams, which I don't even know. Like, that was a weird type of sickness. Like, I don't know what kind of sickness that was, but midterms, it was like terrible. You will always encounter, you know, trying to balance your life and trying to balance your school life, and it's just really hard. I just wish I could find like a better way to balance that out. I still haven't. I've encountered this since like I would say grade 11. What kind of happened during these like past few months, like the few months of 2025, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I don't know how you explain this. I kind of encountered a situation that I wasn't really expecting. I think September was like, okay. It was, let's say, like an event or like something kind of specific in my past that pretty much just came up in my present. You know, as I said, right, I feel like I finally accepted the past as the past and that the past isn't in my present anymore. And when this kind of situation thing, whatever, came up in my present, I literally didn't even know how to feel. I was like, you're so lying right now. And I'm not like trying to like be rude or be like ungrateful. Like, I'm not trying to throw shade or anything like at all. This situation, I didn't even know how to like articulate it. The main thing was that this situation, right, it's like I dealt with it before in the past, right? But it's like I'm low-key like not the same person as I was when I was dealing with this back then, right? So this kind of past situation pretty much is just unchanged. It's like if you pulled it from my past and just brought it to my present, like that's literally how it was. I don't think something that's unchanged just align with something that's changed, right? Like, it just doesn't work like that. I don't want to go into like my past habits and everything to kind of get a hold of that situation again. I don't want to, because hello, like, have we not been watching this whole entire video? Like, oh my god, no, I'm not doing that. You're leveling down when you should be leveling up. Kind kind of messed with me in like some ways for sure. I also had personal issues, or I'm not really gonna get into that because, like, you know, there are some personal issues that I actually do talk about, which is like kind of insane, I know, because some people don't really talk about their personal issues online, and like totally get it, but me, I do. There are some situations I don't talk about because they are personal and like I'd rather not, or whatever. There's things about it, but yeah, you know, there's obviously things in my own house, right, that things were going on, and it was really hard to kind of see the other side of the rainbow. Like, those situations kind of, I feel like, when we go a little off track, like I feel like I was a little bit like off track of like where I was going. But I feel like winter break and everything, like I think I really kind of got myself back onto the right path, and I could just kind of let go of those, you know, habits, or let go of being off track. Like, does that even make sense? I don't know. But that kind of was my whole entire 2025. Kind of just learning, growing, trying to get rid of those past habits, those past thoughts, those negative kind of things that you're surrounded by, trying to get rid of it, trying to see the good, trying to kind of look past it and everything. And it can be so hard, especially when you're coming from a place of negativity and sadness. I also wanted to actually mention, like, you guys, a song that really got me through 2025 would have to be Pursuit of Happiness by Kid Cudi. Oh my god, bro, that song got me through 2025, guys. You do not understand. I actually really love that song a lot. These lyrics in the song where it goes like, I'm gonna say it out loud, it's like, everything that shine ain't always gold, hey, I'll be fine once I get it, yeah, I'll be good. Those lyrics, I think they really, I felt like that, you know, I felt it. I would listen to it like every day on repeat, normal version, slowed version, everything. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I just love that song so much. If I could ever meet Kid Cudi, I would definitely like actually like be like, that song saved me. Like, it saved me in so many ways. I think that song really showed me hope. Obviously, I have to mention, you know, Ariana Grande's album Eternal Sunshine, the deluxe. Obviously, that one really got me through it. I was always listening to that. It's really funny because in 2024, when it actually came out, I remember I was in grade 12, right? I did listen to it, but I didn't listen to it that much. Like, I kind of was like, I don't know, like, you know. And then I feel like in 2025, I was like, gave a listen again, and I was like, oh my god, what the heck? Like, this really kind of aligns with what I'm feeling. Like, in 2024, I was, you know, didn't align, didn't whatever, like, you know what I mean. On the deluxe, I love Past Life. That one's obviously one of my favorites. Past Life, Twilight Zone, and Hampstead really relate. And that was some music that really got me through it. Sum it up, that was my 2025, and I'm really hoping for a great 2026. I feel like 2025 was like the journey, and I really want 2026 to be the destination. You guys get what I mean? I'm really wishing all of you guys a really good 2026. I hope it'll be a good year for you guys. I really want it to be a good year for me as well. Hope you guys like this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.